After getting a chance to see Red Dead Redemption 2 in action, we noticed a bunch of stuff that we saw in our demos tucked into the first 3 trailers for the game, so we thought we'd take a deeper look back at all the trailers we've seen so far. We've already covered a bunch of story and character stuff in the 3rd trailer, so this will be mostly focused on gameplay mechanics in the world. That said, if you missed that one, here's the deal. It's 1899 and you play as this guy. He's named Arthur, he works for this guy Dutch who runs this gang the main guy from the last game used to be part of. That's him over there, and this is Javier, Charles, Lenny, Hosea, Dutch, Arthur, that's you, John, Sadie, Pearson, Micah, and Bill. We don't know who the rest of them are, but that's okay because I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. They were doing a heist that went bad, and now it seems that these guys, one of whom is a cop from the first game, are out to get them, and the gang is starting to fall apart. But really, you should just go check out those other videos.
Wake them up a little!
Okay. First thing I want to point out is that this entire first trailer, every bit of it, this is in-world gameplay. The first shot might be the Great Plains area from the original Red Dead. We know we're going to see Blackwater again thanks to this moment in trailer number 3 where you can see the sign for the Blackwater Theater and the awning of the hotel. So it makes sense that this and a couple of other shots might be more of the West Elizabeth territory. Anyways, back to that first trailer. These next few shots look like they're from New Hanover, which is the smallish portion of the map where our demo took place. It's a nice contrast to the rocky deserts of the last game with lots of forests and rivers and farmlands. Here's where we get a taste of some new mechanics. You can see this hunter has slung a kill over the back of his horse. This is how you'll have to lug around most of your inventory. You can hang on to a couple of weapons, but the majority of your bigger items like rifles or animal pelts and carcasses will have to stay on your horse. The other cool thing is that you'll see scavengers appear if you leave a carcass lying around. These vultures that show up here will come to feast on anything you kill and leave out for too long. Even people, so we're told. Jumping back a second, we see a canoe here, and with all the water that we've seen, that'll probably be a handy mode of travel. It's a real nice shot of the train with Buffalo here, and we'll jump into some more train stuff later on. Now, these folks and the rancher here, these are some of the first NPCs we see. And the cool thing about them is that while they may be standing around, they're not just in idle animations. The NPCs in this have jobs, duties, routines, so the rancher here is likely getting ready to start his day. The guy in the wagon behind those vultures isn't just driving in circles, he's got an actual destination and something to do there. We'll come back to some more NPC stuff in a bit, but let's move on for now. These are really beautiful shots of what look like a burning oil derrick, and of course we get that great first shot of the gang we see riding out across the field. The first shot of the second trailer shows what it looks like to be camping out in the world alone, instead of with the rest of the gang. Presumably you'd be able to change clothes and fast travel like in the last one, but we can't say for sure. And this area looks like the New Hanover region that we visited. I believe this first town we see is one called Valentine. We see it later on in the 3rd trailer as well, with a bunch more people in it that time. You can see a gun shop and a pharmacy here on the left where you can buy weapons and medicines. Let's bypass Arthur threatening a grieving son and check out this train robbery. We know you can take on train robberies as a solo activity, but we were told that that's a pretty bad idea, probably why Arthur brought so many friends. We see the tracks get blocked off here, and there's another train chase in trailer 3, so we'll probably be able to interact more with the locomotives than we could last time around. It's also a safe bet that this stagecoach hijacking in the 3rd trailer is a similar type of activity. Okay, next big thing in this trailer is here, the bank heist. This was also part of our demo. It's the bank in Valentine, you can see it here, and it looks like there'll be a good bit of choice in how you pull off robberies like this. We had the option of opening up the safes by picking the locks or using dynamite, and we chose dynamite. But we might have been able to avoid a shootout if we tried a quieter approach. We didn't though, and ended up doing this sweet jump past a moving train. Alright, now we're at this shot, and I think this is part of the new interaction system. Arthur can interact with any NPC in contextual conversations, which all have different dialogue options, or he can just pick up a dude by the throat or challenge them to a duel. Next, we see Arthur bowhunting here. It's going to be a way to keep the camp fed or a source of income from the meat and the pelts, though you'll definitely need to watch out for bears and alligators, which you'll probably encounter in this Louisiana-esque bayou area. We know that horse taming is back, as shown in this clip here and another one in trailer 3. Your bond with your horse is really important now. The higher it is, the less likely it'll be to get spooked and run off, and you'll be able to call it from further away. No more of that magic it spawns right there after a 50-mile train ride. And if your horse dies, you'll need to find a new one and build up that bond all over again. So, take care of your horse. Lastly, I do want to touch on the story since both the 2nd and 3rd trailers give us a pretty good idea of what to expect. We're basically going to be seeing how Arthur goes from this moment,
"Do you have my back?" "Always, Dutch."
to this one.
"You gotta run and don't look back. This is over."
Personally, I think he's saying that last bit to John, and since we know Marston gets away and it's pretty apparent that Arthur cares about him, though he could also be saying it to Sadie or anybody else in the gang. Regardless, we know that somewhere along the line we're going to see the Vanderlyn gang start to fall apart. And I know I, for one, am really interested to see how all of that shakes out. For even more on Red Dead Redemption 2, check out our exclusive first look preview as well as an in-depth look at how Rockstar is building their most ambitious open world yet. For all your other rootin' and tootin' needs, you're already in the right place here at IGN.